Hi everybody, Karl Kjarsgaard back with you at the Halifax 57 Rescue Show, and today we're coming to you from the Halifax Rebuild Shop in Arnprior, Ontario at the airport. And with me today is Bill Vogle. We're in the trenches here doing what we can to keep this airframe rebuild going. Unfortunately, Scott Knox got called away on big business, so we'll see him in the coming days. We need to tell you that during this busy summer for the Halifax project, we're going to have to cut back on our schedules, and we're going to show the Halifax 57 Rescue videos on YouTube. The show will be every 2 weeks during the summer months, and in September we'll go back to our regular schedule of weekly. But here we are. We're on the trailing edge of the Halifax center section, and she starts over there and goes 29 feet that way. Everything has been bolted together now for the center section, and the lads here are making these supports for the flaps, and they're continuing down for well over 29 feet of flap for the Halifax on the back edge of the wing. As you can see here, here is a section of the Sweden Halifax HR871 that we recovered from under the sand in 40 feet of water off the coast of Sweden, thanks to our SCSC Swedish divers and our great friends at River Thames Association of Denmark. So there's your very important reference material for helping us build the flaps, and we're going to show you brand new flaps. We're going to show you those to you in a minute. I'm going to interview Bill Vogle, and he's been a main man on the flap manufacturer here at the Rebuild Shop. But we're really excited with this 29 feet this way down to the end, to the left wing. So we've got some more main spar to show you that we have just pulled out of our parts inventory from Sweden, and we're going to show you how that fits in to all of this. But it's we're here in the trenches. This is where the action is. Yes, we're doing the engines, the propellers, and the turrets out in Nanton, but this is where the Halifax airframe is coming back to life. Knox Tech and their team are doing wonders, so we're here today. Okay, so here we have a very important piece of the continuing rebuild of our Halifax bomber, and this is a intermediate wing spar, the rear spar that goes on to the end of the 29-foot center section. And you can see we've salvaged what we could. There's beautiful fittings, there's fuel cross-feed valves, and all kinds of interesting, important information for making a brand new intermediate wing. And remember, the intermediate wing, this spar that you saw on the floor, it attaches here and it goes out 9 feet, and that is the intermediate wing. There's an intermediate wing on this side, over on the other side of the center section, and we've also got the two outboard wings that attach to the intermediate wings 9 feet over here. So we've got almost a complete wing, or the reference material to make this 103-foot wingspan backbone of a Halifax. Exciting stuff. Now that you've had a tour of the main backbone of the Halifax, which the Knox Tech team has done such a beautiful job on, I'm here with Bill Vogle, one of the team, and congratulations on the assembly of the center section.
Well, thank you. That was a great accomplishment last weekend. There were 5 members of the team. We had to lift the section, rotate the section, drop it to the ground, and lift it again and wiggle it into place.
Wow.
It was about a 4-hour job.
Wow.
Yes.
Well, that's great. We're going to get into that detail. And but Bill, I know that you're now in the trenches here for flap rebuild that goes on the trailing edge of the center section. And folks, all of these items have been done by Bill and the team, hand forming the many ribs that go into that trailing edge shape, the airfoil of the flaps. And Bill, is this true? What we're seeing here, all these stacks of ribs, this is less than a quarter of what's required to finish off the Halifax flaps?
Yes, it is, Karl. We have each flap will resemble that, or each, rib of the flap will resemble that shape.
Yeah.
And it's comprised of 3 individual parts. And there's about 40 of each of them to do the 12 feet of flap on each side of the wing.
Well, you're saying over 100, it's 120 of these ribs minimum just to get the flap assemblies ready.
Yes, 120 pieces to form the ribs of the flaps.
Wow.
Yes.
Do you, when you sleep at night, do you have visions of hammer tapping aluminum to get it done?
Yes, and I think I'm going to end up with one Popeye arm and one thin arm over here.
Yeah, well, this is great. And now, from what I understand, this rib in the background there, that is an original rib from the flaps of HR871 underwater off Sweden. And has this been helpful to you in the initial stages?
Yes, it's been absolutely essential to our work here because we don't have any drawings of the flaps.
Yes.
So each one of the 3 pieces was actually taken from a different area of the recovered flap. And we picked the best sample of each and straightened it out, scraped off encrusted sand and rocks, and painted them up so we know that those are the closest things to original that we can get.
Sure.
And then we made mock templates of them out of heavy paper. And from there we made wooden buck forms, we'll call them.
Yes.
And each one of these is a two-section piece.
Now this looks like fairly good wood.
That's black walnut.
Wow.
We normally we were using just medium density fiberboard, but with the number of pieces we had to make,
Repetitions.
The repetitions and the hammering that goes on them, Scott decided let's build it out of something that's going to last.
Sure.
So we used black walnut. We'll make some tables out of those afterwards.
Well, that's great, Bill. And you were telling me that at least 3 of your uncles served in World War II in the military.
Yes, they did.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, it's kind of like we're carrying the torch. Canadians did great things in World War II.
Right.
And it took everyone's effort for so many years during World War II to get that job done. So, and as you and I talked about, 70% of all bomber combat done by the Canadians in World War II, it wasn't done on the Lancaster.
No.
It was done on the airplane you're working on.
Yes, on the Halifax, the wonderful Halley.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I just want to compliment you, and you can tell the rest of the guys, bravo, continue on, carry the torch, and I will fix you some engines and some propellers out there. And we might even bring you a running Bristol Hercules that you could use here for attraction, because we have 3 runners now.
Right. That would be awesome. That would be awesome. It would be a really awesome. I don't know how else to say that.
No, that's great. So thank you again, and let's continue in the trenches, and we'll get her done.
We will.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
So there you have it. We're the rebuild portion of our Halifax 57 Rescue Show. We're going great guns here. All these beautiful goodies here. It's all for the Halifax. We're with the great team we have. We're going gangbusters. And remember, we need your help. Please donate, share, like, subscribe. Give us a shot. You will enjoy being with us on this adventure. We're going to make a Halifax for our veterans, and we're going to make sure that they get the respect they are due, and it will be in the form of a Halifax bomber. So stick with us. We're going places, and we'll see you next time on the Halifax 57 Rescue Show. Bye-bye.